sure, baby girl, you know I could be a favorite fiend. Yo, what's good, my kids? I'm back in another video. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how the order is gonna be for this video because they doing mad things outside right now. They got the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans blasting their music from their cars. You feel me? The weather getting nice outside. Then we got construction. You feel me? Going on. And you feel me? And we got building expectation. That's why I took off the lights. You feel me? But I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? You feel me? About to start this video. We got Mont Blanc just created a masterpiece with Explorer Extreme. You feel me? I don't know who this guy is, but we about to react to him. You feel me? And his shirt, his hoodie, not shirt, but his hoodie says Glock. Okay.
In today's video, we're going to be going over Mont Blanc Explorer Extreme. We're going to compare it to the regular Explorer Eau de Parfum. This one here is obviously the Parfum version. I'm going to give you just my full thoughts on it, how it smells, how it performs, and if it's something that's worth picking up. It's been out for a while now, and more so just recently became relatively consistently available on discounters. It's been available at retailers for a while now, but here lately it's been popping up for anywhere for around like $65 to $80 for 100 ml, depending on tester versus full presentation, current sales, and all that stuff. A little bit of a range there, but on average, that's where it's been, which comes in pretty far below that retail price. So let's go ahead and start off with how this one smells. When you first spray this one on, you might be taken aback. You might be a little bit surprised. I know I was when I first tried this one out, because upon that first spray, you still perceive some of that Explorer, you know, that original kind of Creed Aventus smell. You pick up on that for sure. However, you do get hit with a pretty noticeable spicy kick, and a lot are going to compare it to something like Dior Sauvage Elixir, which I would have to agree with to some extent. It does have a little bit of a Sauvage Elixir smell, especially off the opening, and it's primarily coming from all of the spices that you get hit with when this one opens up. And it's something that you could tell even just doing a spray up in the air and trying it there. Man, it really smells awesome off the opening. Very vibrant and very punchy. So again, you get some of that kind of spicy kick, you know, that I was mentioning. The other thing you're going to notice is, yeah, it ties back to a little bit of Mont Blanc Explorer / Creed Aventus, but you'll notice that there is a full extra layer here of more of like, you know, a heavier, richer Aventus smell. And that's where people are going to say it might smell a little bit like Creed Absolute Aventus. I would also
See, that was my first opinion when I heard about this fragrance. You feel me? This is my first time ever like watching a review, but like if I had to like think about something, I would have thought about like this gotta be cloning the Absolute.
agree with that. It does for sure have some of that in here. And the fact that this one does have more of a heavy and strong smell about it is amazing to me, because anybody who's watched my videos for any amount of time, whenever I've talked about regular Mont Blanc Explorer, you know, just this one here, I've always said that it lacked kind of some depth and complexity, and it's always had a little bit of like almost a two-dimensional smell to it, like flat, you know what I mean, where when you smell Explorer EDP, it doesn't feel like it has a whole lot of substance to it. It's relatively thin, so to speak, you know. It just doesn't have a lot of punch to it or really anything like that, and it's always just kind of been a little bit of a letdown in that category. And what I've found is with the extreme version and this Parfum, that is no longer the case at all. In fact, quite the opposite. It really does have much more of a heaviness, more of a richness, more of a vibrance to it. So again, you know, just immediately you'll pick up on this. A little bit of Absolute Aventus due to the richer nature of the scent. Still getting that pineapple bergamot type of mixture, but more of a leathery feel, more of an amber heavy feel, instead of just like bright ambroxan or ambergris like Aventus uses and Explorer uses and a lot of other Aventus smelling things use. It's more amber leaning, you know, still that kind of ambroxany, bubbly, fuzzy feel, but the amber itself has more of that heaviness that I keep alluding to here to just, again, tie things back together, and it makes it make more sense. Also, you pick up on a little bit of a patchouli in here as well. So a little bit Absolute Aventus leaning, a little bit Sauvage Elixir leaning, mostly off that opening, but it does persist a little bit later on, again, mainly coming from the spices here. If we take a look at the note breakdown, they keep it pretty simple and they don't really give us a whole lot. And so you're kind of having to, come to your own conclusions when it comes to this one when you're actually smelling it. So up top we have one note, which is bergamot. In the mid, we have patchouli and vetiver, and in the base, we have amber and leather. So not a whole lot, really. And in fact, you don't really see any spices, right? You don't see the cardamom or, the licorice or any sort of peppery note that you would see out of something like Sauvage Elixir. You don't even see sandalwood, which is another note that's used heavily in that Dior Sauvage fragrance that you kind of pick up on in here, maybe as a result of the spices, and it's making you infer that because you smell the Sauvage Elixir type of spice, you get some of the sandalwood, although I do think I pick up on it. None of that's in the note breakdown. Again, they just really kept it pretty stripped here, but for sure you get a lot of what we're kind of talking about here, the spices. Also, they list off one top note, bergamot. Creed Aventus has always used a lot of bergamot. Of course, pineapple is kind of the main marketed note, but bergamot and apple used very, very heavily as well. You 1000% pick up on those as well. So again, bergamot.
There's apple and Creed. Or am I bugging? He just said apple and Creed.
For sure in here.
Or when he said apple, he meant pineapple. I know there's pineapple.
But I still get that pineapple kind of sweetness. Also a little bit of like a slightly sweet apple fruity kick as well. Nothing too crazy here, but definitely perceivable, so it goes in that direction as well. This is what I would consider to be a very well done, polished, and well thought out flanker, in my personal opinion. I don't know what the general consensus is on this one right now, as far as, what people think compared to the regular eau de parfum version. I'm not really sure, right? I know for me, though, this is kind of about what I look for in a parfum flanker, right? We have the EDP, which is a pretty good baseline of what maybe we would look for in an Aventus scent. Again, in my opinion, it's always fell flat in some areas, but I've always still said that it's a great Creed Aventus alternative, primarily because it's from a designer brand that you can go purchase and smell in store. You don't have that type of access with Armaf and Lattafa and Fragrance World, at least here in the US, right? That's just very, very uncommon. So having, that type of availability has made Mont Blanc Explorer a great alternative for people who want to get into that Aventus DNA for significantly less money. So, that's kind of the main bonus for that one. However, again, I think they could have done some things better. And in my opinion, that's what they did here. I really think that they took already a very good solid start, a really good baseline, and they simply improved it. They bumped that concentration right up to a parfum, which is just kind of par for the course for a lot of flankers these days. And they gave us something that has that full-bodied richness and that vibrance and that depth and even that complexity that just the original version lacked.
Has Kyrie texted you back?
I don't want to talk about it.
How was the math test?
And so this is one of those situations where, is this one better? It simply depends. After all, this is one of the most subjective hobbies that you could possibly be interested in. So it depends on what you're after. If you're after simply just, hey, I want to smell good and I want to get compliments, you're not really trying to get a scent that's going to maybe, fulfill certain things for your taste necessarily. Like you're not really doing it for you, for your enjoyment. You're doing it for everybody else's enjoyment. Regular Explorer, it's going to get you home, right? This one's going to do that. It's always going to get compliments. It's always going to smell good to tons and tons of people. But if you're somebody who really wants to kind of take pride in what you're wearing and you really after that enjoyment aspect of it, I think most people are going to find that they do prefer the extreme version better. It's just, to me, it's a significant.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He put it beautiful. Feel me? Wear the original if you want compliments. If you don't give a fuck, you feel me? For wear the friggin'. But if you want to elevate and step up your game, you feel me? Like, you feel me? Wait. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely forgot what he said. But he said,
pride in what you're wearing and you really after that enjoyment aspect of it. I think most.
You take pride in what you wear, you feel me? Okay, yeah, you can wear that, but I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear my fragrance, you can wear your fragrance. I'm gonna take pride in what I wear.
people are going to find that they do prefer the extreme version better. It's just, to me, it's a significantly better wearing experience. And especially, you know, when we're talking about the price point, because this one's a little bit expensive right now. And Mont Blanc Explorer, you know, is not horribly priced, right? It's pretty affordable. However, so is Armoff Club Dewey Intense Man EDP Extrait. So is most every other Creed Aventus clone, all around that same price or less, and a lot of them are better than regular Explorer. So I think that, you know, this one is just kind of overall the better choice if you're really after quality and blend. If you don't care so much about that, again, the regular one gets the job done. This is also one that I would find myself reaching for a lot more, especially just because it's stronger. It's again, everything I already mentioned. But I also like the fact that it's kind of like a hybrid here, you know. It's not just Creed Aventus Absolute. It's not just Dior Sauvage Elixir, right? It's not that cut and dry. It's kind of combining some aspects here into one, giving you a little bit of a different wearing experience altogether. So now let's go ahead and talk about the important part for a lot of people, which is the performance. Longevity has been really solid on my skin. Again, parfum concentration, that always helps, and most of the time we're going to get pretty good longevity from them. On my skin, around that 9-hour mark. And again, as I always mention, that's usable longevity. That's where even at that 9-hour point, you could still pick up on it, not just like me, but like anybody else around me that is somewhat close to me. It'll still be radiating enough where they can pick up on it. So not a completely dead skin scent at 9 hours. You know, once you get up to maybe 12, 13, that's where this one's pretty much done at that point. But again, that usable longevity benchmark, somewhere around that 9-hour point, is a pretty consistent average for me. And then in terms of projection, not a ton of projection. Again, this is also very common with parfums. The projection distance is not high. However, the trail is heavy. This one is one where you spray it on your skin and you walk through a room, it hangs. This is also one where if you simply just spray it in the air.
If y'all don't know what that's called a sillage, you feel me? Once you leave the room and once you leave an area or a little bubble you in, feel me? Your scent might stay there and linger for a few seconds, for a few minutes, you feel me? I don't really know like how long sillages typically last for. I just know, you feel me? Sometimes when you leave a room, your scent still there, so like you still fill the room up without being there.
Right? Like I did at the beginning of the video you saw, I can still smell it. Now, some of it might have gotten on me somewhere, right? But very much, mostly when in the air, I could still pick up on it. You could just go walk into a room, spray it, and immediately step back, and it will hang in that air for a pretty good amount of time. So really, really good scent trail on this one, which I always prefer over projection anyway. Explorer EDP has never been an amazing performer for me. It's not horrible, but you know, not all that great, especially when you compare it to a lot of the other Aventus clones. It kind of fell a little bit short there, but the new Parfum, or the new Extreme Parfum, significantly better. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Mont Blanc Explorer Extreme. Fantastic flanker. Again, for me, this is what I like to see. A Parfum that takes that base DNA and improves it. I think they did it better in every way. Some people might have wanted it to be more similar smelling, like, you know, Creed Aventus EDP smell, but stronger, you know, just like Explorer essentially. And so maybe they would feel left down there. Maybe other people would have wanted it to be even more different than what it is now. Can't please everybody, you know, and I kind of figured there's going to be some resemblance given the way that they styled this one and named it, because we've had other flankers, Explorer Blue and Platinum and stuff like that, and those are completely different. So I just assumed based off of those clues that it was probably going to be somewhat similar, and it was, and for me, this is what I look for. I'll drop a link to this one down below to discounters if you want to shop it. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one.
See you tomorrow with another one. Damn, you gotta be consistent. You feel me? But I'm not gonna lie, like, he is very knowledgeable. I wonder if he does more than a hobby. Like, what I mean by that is just like, does he like actually like do this as an occupation, where like he always been around fragrances? Because he is so knowledgeable. I didn't know that parfums, you feel me, don't got the performance that, for me, where it projects as strong. Which, like, it's not like I didn't know that, but like it never came to my mind. Like for me, like I know like for me the higher the oil for me, the more oil concentrated. You feel me? The less performance you get. But like, cause like I remember like they be like I heard like someone say like, oh you can't have like certain DNAs like for me certain DNAs or formulas work better with like certain concentrations. You feel me? I'm like, why you just can't make that shit strong or like weak if you want it? But like now, like for me, after watching this video, for me, not only I learned about a fragrance, I also learned about different like you feel me, different information that's useful. Feel me? But he's very educated in the fragrance industry, which it seems like, cause I'm gonna lie, like he knew what he was talking about. He hit up every single point that you need to hit up in a review. For me, I be like some of the points he hit up, I be missing. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. You feel me? I just need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. You feel me? Shout out to him. I'm gonna have his link down below in the description. So if y'all wanna go watch him, you feel me? Cause I'm not gonna lie, he's mad educated. You feel me? But Lucio Ruiz, keep it calm on how I'm gonna catch y'all next video. I'm out of here.